they've been really impressed with what he's done on the practice floor. Got his knee issue under control right now, and he's going to step out, get his first NBL minutes tonight.
Pero bago yun, please like this video at mag-subscribe. Hit the notification bell button at mag-join sa Gilas Pilipinas Basketball Facebook group.
We are set to go from Cairns. The Adelaide 36ers win the tip with an opportunity to get first points on the board. Starting hasn't been their strong suit this season, so hopefully they will be able to start with some authority, and it's Isaac Humphries who fires unsuccessfully. Quickly up the floor, here's Zimmerman from close range. He gets the Cairns Snakes going.
Well, good start on the Taipans. Good outlet pass. Zimmerman running the floor. And Isaac Humphries, that's a good look for him. Well, the Sixers would love to get him a bit more involved. Try and get back to that form he was in last season. He was outstanding. And good start for the Cairns Taipans.
Hannah's exploring. Humphries rushing to the hoop. Ran into Zimmerman. Forced to retreat, but still came up with a finish to open Adelaide's account.
Well, that'll feel good for Isaac Humphries. Looking to have a bit of a bigger impact in this one, averaging 8 and 4 across their first 4 games, just 2 blocks in total, so hasn't been having his usual type of impact.
Dang thought he was fouled. Referees didn't see it that way. Withers. Answer from McCarron. Hands over. Dusty Hannah's works to an opening from behind. He's fouled. Kajima McCall.
Here, the explanation. Yeah, he got the ball, but he got a lot of the body. So that's not what Adam Ford or the Taipans want. An early foul to Jim McCall. So that's got Machado. Going to have to carry a heavy load. But Clayton always been good. He's up to 17 points a game, and he said himself a couple weeks ago he wants to be the most improved player of the league. He started the right way. He's just got to continue that, and again, doesn't really have much option. When players out, he has to put up 17 plus a night to be able to give them any chance. This is a team that hasn't scored over 70 yet.
So Adelaide, 4 unanswered points to take the lead for the first time. Here's McCall slicing his way inside and coming up with the excellent finish.
Great attack from McCall. Has that ability to create off the dribble. You're going to need a lot of that from him tonight. And there he was able to snake his way right to the cup.
Good pressure from the Taipans here. McCarron is a former Cairns player. With Mohamed King as well as Daniel Johnson. Still yet to find his groove so far this season, but that's a nice effort.
He loves to play against the Taipans. Daniel Johnson, of the 7 times he's scored 30 or more in his career, 4 have been against Cairns, including a career-high 38 he had in this building a few years ago. So just something about playing with the Taipans as Zimmerman rolls that in over the front of the rim that gets Daniel Johnson going.
Enterprising start to the game. 12 points in the first 2 minutes combined. Daniel Johnson, the 3, off the mark. Taipans with a chance to put the noses back in front. The call, well off the mark. Loose ball, Johnson gets after it. Deng was good enough to clean it up though. At the top of the key, Taipans Cole do take the lead. In fact, no, it was Portnoy.
That's what Clayton's been doing, shooting the ball with confidence. When he's doing that, the rest of his game opens up. Start putting the ball on the floor as McCarron falcons Isaac Humphries and tries to get it to him again.
Couldn't get the work either time. Zimmerman the rebound from a goal. They're up and about behind Suns. Well, works inside the counter, but very easily all off around the court, cancel and start.
He's got a couple of big shots. You see that the hustle, kick it up from McCall, finds Portnoy straight away at 3. Well, McCall has to run the show and get everyone involved at the offense again. He's guarding Dusty Hannahs. Down the other is in no help mode. As he face guards Hannahs, keeps the ball away from him.
Shook Deng also playing as his former team. Portnoy off the mark on that occasion. They lead it by 3. For Adelaide's offense so far, but Dusty Hannahs puts a stop to that as he comes up with his first field goal.
Good attack from Hannahs in transition, the cross match. It wasn't McCall in front of him, so he got on the attack. Beat Portnoy to the rim.
Good challenge from Daniel Johnson, but Zimmerman equal to the challenge. 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting here for Steve Zimmerman.
A question mark for Steve Zimmerman in the early couple of games of the season at Taipans. Well, getting a lot of rebounds, but so often he gets those position underneath the rim and just doesn't finish his hard work. He misses so many easy ones. So a really promising start to be able to knock all those in and get Cairns off to a good one, because it is a tough place for a visiting team to come in. They build a fortress up there and you've got to match their energy.
Ball. Zimmerman around the perimeter. It is a good position here, but muscling his way in a little closer. Unable to complete it there. Majuk Dam. It's McCarron put on the accelerator, running out of room. Pass was deflected. Good defensive pressure again from the Cairns Snakes. McCall elevates, extends, adds another 2. They lead by 5.
Well, taking advantage, the Taipans there of some lazy defensive transition from the 36ers. Just need to sprint back and protect the bucket. Taipans taking advantage.
Daniel Johnson getting it done once more.
We lost that matchup on the jump deck. Daniel Johnson didn't know each other on the pass and just hopefully he can explore whatever. Jim McCall making things happen.
Penetration from again. Isaac Humphries. He's coughed it up here. Adelaide turnover. For the finish. Right.
Sloppy play from the 36ers. Timeout CJ Bruton. He wants to chat about it.
4 turnovers to none. Adelaide's problems looking after the ball. They're ugly head of game for 36ers fans, and the Taipans 15-10 lead here. Well, they've started certainly with some authority.
They've started great. That's what you got to do. You've got to capitalise on the turnovers. Adam Ford yelling up and down saying we can go to another level from this.
And I need you guys to buy in. Look after the basketball. Come back and get it. Stop waiting for things to happen and your teammates got to do it. Do it or come sit down. Right? Hey, coming out of here, we're in weak wench here. Okay? So set the screen, get over it. On the defensive end, though, this is what I care about more. Are we able to box out? Oh, shit.
Deal with the fake energy, the fake technique.
On the drive, hey, if McCall's coming off, it's shoot a gap as a big sitting in. Remember, on Zimmerman, he's not shooting outside the paint. Here we go.
Yeah, CJ Bruton just saying he cares about the defense end. You're giving up 15 points in the first 5 minutes to a team that has struggled to score. I tell you what, we love some early bold calls throughout the whole NBA season, but Jim McCall could have a triple-double tonight. This is a man who's already got 4 assists and 4 points, and he averages 8.5 rebounds. He's going to do it all. So if he stays out there without his foul trouble, there's a strong chance we can see this man with a triple-double.
I guarantee if that was a basketball in CJ Bruton's hand, he wouldn't have dropped it.
So Adelaide restart. Middle stages of the opening quarter. And again, McCarron just getting Billy a big there for good ball. They haven't really been able to get into their offense here. And the shot clock rolls to 10. So McCarron goes solo. Knocks down the shot. He's been his strong suit so far this season. So that's a nice confidence booster for Mitch McCarron. Zimmerman's pass knocked down, active hands from Bairstow, who's checked into the game. Certainly has an impact as soon as he arrives, Bairstow. Johnson will clean up 2, and Adelaide are back on level 2.
Back on case. Bairstow, he's been terrific for the first couple of weeks of this NBL 22 season and having an instant impact off the bench again in this one.
McCall looks outside, feet in the paint, forced to retreat. Shot clock took 2. Tough finish. Couldn't get it done there, Bullquall. Carroll was called for the alley-oop. Bounces a ball and he wanted Johnson but telegraphed it. Pinder against his former team. Spoon-feed Zimmerman for the 2. He's got 8 points on 4 of 4 shooting.
Well, he does get in the right spots at the right time. We've seen that, and as he said, he's just got to make sure he finishes all the easy ones. He's doing that. It was a bit of a problem. He's got the 8 points.
Johnson fires unsuccessfully. Bairstow kept it alive, tipped it up onto the board himself, but was then shut down. Good energy from the Taipans. Karen thought it might have been fake energy during the timeout, but right now, on top by 2. Shot clock rolls to 7. Ball 5. Drains it.
Good ball. The rookie was really impressed over the course of the pre-season and knocks down an early one in this first quarter.
Average 18 points a game in NBL 1, so let's fill it up. Doing a good job. On the pass, Zimmerman, easy 2. Oh, Taipans look good. They scored 7 unanswered points here.
Well, they get out on the break and in transition. They just have fun. You hear the crowd loves that. That's when the Taipans are at their best. So, one thing for sure, CJ brings the defense in transition because he goes Keanu Pinder. That's energy. This is why they build this fortress in Cairns with energy plays. The crowd get into it when they're having fun out in transition. It'll be a tough place to come in and get a win.
Daniel Johnson, Bairstow. Gets it done from close range. First score in the game for him after missing his opening 3 shots. They might have been sloppy at the start of their games. And then open the door here for the Taipans once more. Inside the last 2 minutes, term number 1. As the shot clock works to 10. For McCall, doing it all at the moment. Zimmerman, extra pass, Pinder. Karen did well there. It's multiple opponents. She can tackle to the advantage of Bairstow. Hannahs gets it done. Chance at a 3-point play. Nice assist coming from Manny Malou.
Well, Scarlett just found it.
Jim McCall can just not afford to do his counter Pinder. He's taking it from Daniel Johnson and enjoying all the open court. That's 2 fouls on Jim McCall.
Did you get fancy with the breakaway layup prior to that one? Was it a couple of signature?
He just got his footwork wrong because he wanted to get upstairs and in the end had to settle for a layup. He's got 2 fouls and both of them have been on similar plays. Kind of defends Rusty Hannahs with the swipe across the back. And there he goes. Clark Sotto counter Pinder getting into it early.
Mate. You went first. You went first. You went first. Hey! We got to talk now?
Let's get going here. We have a little bit of a cramp, nothing major. We have sotto into the player, nothing there. We have the Taipan player coming through. It's a bit of a shuffle. You don't need to switch to go, but it's not true to like. There you go.
Let's have a look at it here. What they're trying to discuss and have a look at. So,
On the screen here.
getting that. I love that from Nico Fernandez. That's great officiating. Settled everyone down and talked with his colleagues and made the point. You know what? There's not a lot in it. I'll have a word to him. No need to whistle anything. Let's get on with things.
He'd be feeling good last week. He'd have a little, everyone's saying getting the octagon with how well he could hold back a couple of plays. But I also love the leadership of Mitch McCarron coming over and saying, I'll take care of it. I'll make sure this doesn't happen again. And as you said, nothing came of it. Good play on.
Well, going to count the 2. Another chance at a 3-point play. Keanu Pinder enjoying this against his former team.
Strong attack from Pinder. There's nothing fake about his energy. Coming into the game off the bench here, ripping it through. One dribble straight, drive to the rim. CJ Bruce won't enjoy that. And then, of course, a few possessions earlier, getting it after it defensively, pouncing on the loose ball, throwing it down in transition. And the 36ers had some struggles defensively over their first 4 games. 9th in defensive rating across the league. Now, really small sample size, of course, but the eye test has backed up that they've got some work to do at the defensive end, and the Taipans have 27 on the board with a minute and change still remaining in this opening term.
Taipans have got 10 assists and 12 made field goals as well. This is really impressive. They've exploded here. No Adelaide vulnerable in the start of games. Bairstow against Pinder. Bairstow took Pinder's place in Adelaide, so Pinder's enjoying this at the moment. Bairstow can't confirm. Pinder gets the rebound. Jared Kenny brings Cairns back up the floor inside the last 60 seconds of the opening quarter. They've had the answers so far. Back to Kenny. Nice ball. Shot Shot clock at 10. Only found it in the paint. Wanted July and goes to Pickler for the finishing touches.
Cole making things happen. When he gets downhill ahead of steam, he's just so crafty. A little Euro around the world. Joe, I dropped it, but went down, picked it up, and counter pinned it. Hands are getting whatever they want on the offense.
So he works it down low with Lou. He pulls it zero and Taj McCall.
2 fouls in the first quarter. Adam Ford letting it ride. McCall comes up with the play.
8 points on 4 or 5 shooting for McCall as well. Shot clock turned off here. And McCall isolated against Sotto. Fires over the top. Can't finish with a tip. It belongs to Nate Jawa. And the Cairns Taipans are doing a number on Adelaide here. They have started this game in exponential fashion. It's 31-20. Kmart, thanks very much for their support.
Throwback style there. Far North Queensland. Sounds like Crocodiles. With a little shout out. How about the impact from Tajir McCall in that opening quarter? Yes, he picked up 2 fouls. Keep an eye on that foul count as we go. 8 points, 5 assists, running the show in the absence of Scott Machado and Kai Sotto. Immediate impact there to begin the second.
Shut down that Chawai. 5 on the shot clock. Busted play. Eventually they put a stop to it. And it's through Hiram Harris. So, Wiggins. More of a thought moment for Adelaide. As CJ Britton tries to get something happening.
What a block from Kai Sotto. You talked about coming into the league, your first matchup is pick Dave Jarwine. He backed you down. You get the timing right and send it back straight into his lap.
Harvey King against his former team. Comes from third. Port Lloyd with the rebound. All over Adelaide here. Helping Adelaide's chances are 7 turnovers to 1 in the opening quarter. They had 50 turnovers in their first 3 games, Adelaide. Self-inflicted wounds. Shot clock to 7. Joe Owen to get back and retrieve the pass. Now he's got 3 on the shot clock. May have travel. 3 in the key is the call.
Again, really good defense from Sotto. Here's that first possession. Holds position, doesn't let Jawai body him, getting out of position with the left shoulder, and again right there. Holds strong enough there in the upper body not to let Jawai create space, making life tough inside.
Harris. Sotto. Shot clock to single numbers. Withers. With the elbow. His first shot in the game. Can't convert. Jared King with the rebound. All the energy from the Taipans. Real to lead. Minder. Kenny. Jawa. Sotto. This is Wayne from players ranging. Comes up with the points.
He was extra determined that time, wasn't he, Jawai?
Elliott play from Hiram Harris. A little too much on it. Adelaide have coughed it up again. Fourth night. His former teammate, Tad Dufelmine, just can't complete it. Kansas scored the last 9 points here. Record across quarter time. Withers now taking the shuttles up to the free throw line.
That's what you got to do. We're talking about Cairns Taipans being down a few guys. Make the move on the defensive end. You can't call it fake energy, but either way, whether it's fake or it's still energy that you have to match. And the Adelaide 36ers did not match it in the first quarter. Come down, get through your offensive sets, and then make good reads. It's a good backdoor cut. Withers gets the foul. He's going to go to the free throw line.
They've had a bit of success from those back actions, haven't they? That's, you know, got Dusty Hannahs with the downline finish. The ball picking up the foul on the rear contest. There they found Todd Lewis, nice bounce pass from Sotto, who checks out. Good couple of minutes for him on debut.
It is how you combat, isn't it? The energy. That's what the Taipans are doing. They're getting disruptive. They're getting in the lane. So those back doors are going to be there. And you need bigs who can make that pass. So that's a really good sign for CJ Bruton. But he cares about defense right now. They're going to get some stops and string them together.
2 minutes played. Serve number 2. It's Cairns by 12. Well, hands over. Been everywhere at the moment. Keeps it alive with the offensive rebound. Good hustle there from Hiram Harris. Deflecting the pass. Chance for Tattoo from White Withers. Floater. perimeter. Wouldn't work then. Dusty Hannahs came back to Humphreys with us outside the perimeter. He can't finish. Portnoy grabs the rebound. Number 4 for him in that category. No one has more. Ball spinning on Hannahs. Leaks help. Top of the key here. Portnoy exploring. Got inside Harris. Kinder shares it with Wall. D. Zimmerman. Got to keep it alive. Well, they forced to knock it down out of court.
You can see the difference. The Taipans offensively in the half court. When Tajim McCall's not out there, just lacking that guy who can snake his way into the lane. Noi eventually got in there. But as Adam Ford finds a couple of minutes of rest here for Tajim McCall, keen to talk about it with his squad.
Good. Hey, great job. Hey, let's run 4-door and the side out. Listen up. Your ball side corner. So I'm going to have, boom. You're going to inbound, and I need you to run all the way across this side. Okay? What? Oh no, hang on a sec. You're going to be tight. Yeah. Hey, Zim, you be out, you collect this ball. A ball. Get it straight back, you're down here. Your space, you're the one coming through. You over the top, okay? You get the ball, you're the point guard. You're getting charged, okay? Corner on the side out.
So McCall coming back into the game for the Taipans. 2 fouls, desperately needs to just keep control of his foul count as this game goes along. They look much better when he's out there on the floor.
Have a look at this lineup. They're like 36. It's Tom Withers in the 4, Isaac Humphreys. You've got Taylor Famar, Dusty Hannahs, and Mitch McCarron. Dilfmar right now has the assignment off to Jim McCall. Trying to slow him down because when he's on the floor, everything's going through him.
Ball picks up the dribble. Shot clock to 6. It's good goal. Working on Dilfmar and earning a trip to the free throw line.
They work their way through it. The Taipans frustrating round and forward. They drop the play and Steven Zimmerman throws it the wrong direction, but they got it back where it needed to go. Found to Jim McCall right in the middle of the painted area and gets himself to the stride.
That's been one of the offensive sets they've used in the first couple of games. Scott Machado normally at the point, and Jim McCall coming off that flex screen just gets wide open laps, and a lot of it is you've got Portnoy, you've got shooters that the defense has to respect, so they kind of fall asleep on McCall, who ends up taking off that flex cut across the baseline, only gets an easy 2, and then Scott Machado cheering on his team.
Game high 14-point advantage. Hannahs left open. A little deep with the 3. And it's going to be called on Qual. He's taking at the shorts. First personal for him. Adelaide just 35% from the field, 1 of 6 from deep at the moment. Hannahs steps outside the 3-point line. This time, short berth. Karen gets it after Willis kept it alive from close range. Isaac Humphreys comes up with it.
Total breakdown defensively for the Taipans. Jim McCall screaming at his teammates. Thought the switch was going to come and it didn't. Sixers left wide open.
Portnoy, nothing on offer. Majuk Deng gets a look and knocks down the 3 ball.
A bit quiet this season for Majuk Deng. He's been a bit frustrated at times, I think, with not getting enough looks. And that's what he does well, is Withers. Well done from Isaac Humphreys. He tried to throw that down. Withers with a baseline drive, but Majuk Deng, you see him so often in the pick and pop, and he's tough to guard. What a pass.
Zimmerman met at the summit by Humphreys, who thought he got it clean. That's McCall.
Oh, he's just so crafty to Jim McCall. Just probing as he makes his way off that pick. Look at him there. It's just his eyes are up. And the timing, as soon as he had Isaac Humphreys engaged, he found Zimmerman in the middle of the lane.
a good start here, Zimmerman. Came up with 8 points in the opening quarter. So 2 games he's played. Put the game in rebounding, 14 and 14 against Perth. Then finished with 5 points, 12 boards against Tasmania. Right now, 14-point advantage for the Taipans. We'll have 4 minutes played here in the second. Humphreys wants to take him on at the other end, and Isaac Humphreys is warming to the challenge here. 8 points in the game for him. 6 of the 7 Adelaide have scored in this quarter.
Let's just see that season average. Isaac Humphreys, 8 points. Let's see him get a bit more involved. I love that he's getting on the offensive glass, just hanging around to get some extra opportunities. Trying to build his confidence back up to the level we saw last season.
Taking him on again, just trying to create. Taipans will restart here. Release, all the way with the net.
Well, he's giving him a punch, isn't he? Good wall. Adam Ford has a lot of faith in the rookie, and he's pulled out of the NBL 1, and he's responding.
Willis. His hands full. Humphreys. Long pass was never on. Tried to get Daniel Johnson involved. Stand by! Couldn't get the elevation. He was after Courtney. McCall look away past Zimmerman. Eventually controlled it and then lost it.
Okay, so we call that a flat tire. That is quite annoying. It was a great pass from the big fella Zimmerman. Now in front. Look at this left hand push pass. Then Noy's like, here we go. Flat tire there, and yeah, just didn't quite get close, but Cairns get another opportunity at it.
9 on the shot clock. Ball will restart here. Zimmerman, Qual, back to McCall. Shot clock at 3. Stepping back against Dusty Hannah's never looked likely. Daniel Johnson scoops up the loose ball. Humphreys giving some latitude by Zimmerman. Now picks up the dribble. Again, they just had a sink in the offensive hand. Travelling violation called on Isaac Humphreys. Turnover number 9 for Adelaide.
Well, I thought he might have got away with it. It was for the Taipans fans. He just lost track of what he was doing. So Junior Cole, it's unfortunate there's the launch one on the shot clock buzzer because he's 1 of 11 from 3 this season. That's really the one blemish on his game, and I think it was you, Liam, who said he knocks that down with consistency. That's why he'd be an NBA player. That's the one thing that's really holding him back. Does everything else at such a high level. Love his defensive energy, the way he gets in the passing lanes, blocks, steals, even the way he creates on the offensive end. He just hasn't found that consistent stroke from outside.
Well, he knows it. You know, speaking post-game after the win over Tasmania, we were marvelling at the 20 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, but he had an eye on the efficiency. 0 for 6 from three-point territory, 6 turnovers. He said in the presser, I don't actually think I played that well. I've got much more room to grow as he finishes that reverse off the glass.
Margin continues to grow here. 17 now in favour of the Taipans. Bairstow gets it from McCarron from close range. Comes up with a finish. There's one proactive team here and one reactive team. This has been good to watch from the Taipans. Wow, ready to go again. Knocked down, taking the shot, couldn't get a whistle. Took down, getting it over the back of Johnson. Appreciate the contact. Here's Bairstow. For a long pass. It's cut out. Gets back to recover. A good hustle again. Well done, Courtney behind the back. Got support on either wing. Zimmerman to Courtney, and he travelled, wasn't expecting it.
Jeez, they made a meal of that. The Taipans, he could have raffled who was going to finish the play as the Taipans just motoring past the 36ers in transition. Lack of effort to get back from Adelaide, and the Taipans also just first to the ball. Loose balls all over the floor. It's orange jerseys that are getting themselves to it. That's why they've got that 15-point margin.
Case, you said it, reactive, and that's been the story of Adelaide season so far. Down 17 at the half to the Breakers. Credit to them for turning it around, but have to be on the front foot. I think a lot of it does start offensively with Mitch McCarron trying to get everybody involved on the offensive end, get everybody in the right spot. You heard CJ Bruton was saying we need to have players in the corners, we need to have everybody in the right spots. But and then as you highlighted, Lee, their defense just hasn't been there, especially in transition. You've turned it over 10 times already. Everybody has to run back. As soon as that ball is up for grabs, if you see an orange jersey grab it, everyone has to put their head down and sprint.
It's been a regular problem from them. Not that there doesn't seem an appetite to retrieve at the moment. Fiesta. This three off the mark. Kenny, quick release. McCall. Lock pass Zimmerman. After a lot of him, it was good enough to keep it alive and get it to the Majuk Deng for the two.
Well, again, right there, that ends up being 3-on-1. The Taipans get it through hands. They finish at the rim. Running off long misses. As Hannah scores a much-needed basket for the 36ers at the rim.
Timeout call, 2:34 to play here and in the first half. A 15-point edge for Cairns. They're led by 11 at quarter time. CJ Bruton, and he would be tearing his hair out if he still had some, because no matter what he does, there just seems to be a lack of his message getting through.
And while you do something about it right now, we're giving up so many points. The leak out, we talked about it on video. The leak outs are coming. They're running by us. They play with more effort than us. I know we're not at home, but I don't care. That's no excuse. Right now, you're trying to find any way. I got fouled. I don't run back. I lost the ball. Well, switch your butt back. We play out of wide. The elbow hit. That guy flashes. Throw it here. This guy, as he comes down, hit the elbow. Back cut. Flash back to the ball. If you don't have that, hit him. Come off the other side of the floor. Attack the rim. Hey, we're being soft right now. We're just too big in the paint. Let's go.
The message is pretty clear from CJ Bruton. Geez, every time you hear your head coach use the word soft about how you're playing, that has to ring pretty hard. And really banging home the point about defensive transition. Clearly alluding to the fact they'd spoken about it in the pre-game, in the lead up to this contest, that the Taipans are going to look to run off misses and defensive rebounds, and his judges have not been up to the task thus far.
A little over 2 minutes out from half-time. Zimmerman able to get countered by Bairstow. Here's Deng. Stood off him. Hinder. Shot clock rolls to 5. Hinder, Ants Withers, step back. Couldn't finish it. Close ball. Bairstow gets after it. Withers for McCarron. So we move inside the last 2 minutes of the first half. Johnson at the elbow against Hinder. It's on the deck. Just to go on with it. That's a tough shot from Daniel Johnson, but he's good enough to make it work. He's got 8 points in the game.
Just goes about his business. Daniel Johnson, nice and slow. It looks like he's got no right to finish that, but he's scoring a variety of ways. As soon as he gets a step past, he feels the advantage. More often than not, he's going to make it or you're going to foul it. Good knockdown from Daniel Johnson.
Spin move from McCall. Just a little out of control. Couldn't finish it, and now McCarron. Satellite forward, Withers shares it. Manny Maluk, baseline. Nothing on offer. He's passed Withers to Will to reel it in. McCall, remember what was happening next, though. Stole it away, but now he needs some help. No, he doesn't. He goes solo. Adds another 2.
Wow, just bringing the energy. McCall again, loose ball. He gets after it, gets his mid to it, and able to make it happen down the other end.
Bairstow looks inside. Daniel Johnson worried out of the points by Majuk Deng. They've got all the answers here at the moment, Cairns. They lead by 15 inside the last 60 seconds of the first half. What half it has been from Tajir McCall as well. Lost a lot of him, and he's equal to the challenge so far. Shares it with Deng in the corner. Yes!
Just great awareness from Jim McCall. We know everything's going to run through him. Just wait for patiently for something for the defense to break down. See somebody cheating in and find Majuk Deng in the corner, and there wasn't a whole lot of a reason to leave Majuk Deng that open, and nothing else was really happening. McCall was just standing with the ball.
Bairstow off the mark. Game high 18-point lead. Bairstow did well there to defuse it momentarily. Now Deng Last play of the first half. And why not? Tajima goal takes it on, draws a foul up to the free throw line. Cairns Taipans have been in the 60s their first two games as a score. 51 already.
And I think it's nice that this half's going to finish, well, almost 3 seconds to go, with Tajir McCall at the free throw line, because he has really set the tone for this team. Got 14 points, 7 assists, and 3 steals, and he's just adding to those numbers.
He's telling his teammates what to do while he's taking free throws.
He's an incredible addition to the Taipans. Does so many good things. He just lifts up everybody to come along with him. This is the piece they were really missing last season, the Taipans.
Zimmerman turnaround, drags it. What a finish to a first half. Scotty Materno can't believe it. And the fans are on the defeat in Cairns. The Taipans, 19-point leaders here at halftime, 54-33. And no wonder they are excited.
Wow. It's been shock and awe from the Taipans in this first half.
It's been an impressive start by the Cairns Taipans, and they are looking to continue that in front of the home faithful in far north Queensland. Outstanding work from them. They only won back-to-back games once last year. The Cairns Taipans finished on the bottom of the ladder with just 8 wins and 28 losses. And they look everything like a back-to-back winning team here tonight. As the Adelaide 36ers, yes, self-inflicted wounds, but take nothing away from the undermanned Taipans lineup. They've given them all they can handle and a little bit more. So Adelaide with the possession arrow to restart here. And revert to their original 5. Withers, bounce pass. Humphries was there a long time, but he gets it done. He's into double figures and leads Adelaide.
Good execution. Opening play to begin the second half from Adelaide. But right to Isaac Humphries, deep catch at home base. Need to start getting it done at this end of the floor.
Zimmerman, McCall. Gets it back from Qual. The mismatch he wanted. They get the Zimmerman down against Withers. Shot clock to 2. Zimmerman. Well, he was patient and it was worthwhile waiting for.
Incredibly patient. Thought he might have missed time now. Got to his spot, rose up. A really good game from Steven Zimmerman. But I already like the difference with Adelaide 36. You have Mitch McCarron, you have Dusty Adams picking up full court and at least showing that intent to get up and in and try and be a bit disruptive.
McCarron gets it from Withers. Shot clock works to 5. Against Qual. Behind the back. Shut it down.
Wow. That was terrific defense from Bull Qual. You could hear out before encouraging him on the sidelines. Look at him sliding his feet in front of Mitch McCarron and then walling up on the finish. 1 on the shot clock for Adelaide and they score it.
The breakdown there at Hatters. They have 1 second to get it done.
That's what Tajir McCall is telling Bull Qual is there is no need for you to be guarding Mitch McCarron like that. Get into that when the logo is the charge circle. Make sure you clog that up. There's 1 second to go. You live with a contested 3.
The Zimmerman shut down by Daniel Johnson for the throwdown from a Chuk Deng on his former team.
Good to see him smiling. Chuk Deng has been frustrated to start with. Not getting enough shots, not getting involved in the offense. There's one way to get yourself involved. Be on the offensive glass.
Humphries at the elbow against Zimmerman. Rolling to the hoop. Never looked likely. And just limping off the play and waving to the bench as well. Stays out there for the moment. Wonders for how much longer as Withers gets into the back of full Qual there, doing it up both ends of the floor.
You wouldn't highlight too much at halftime, Bull Qual on the defensive end because we talked about Tajir McCall, but back to the start of the game, his energy and intensity highlighted by that play on Mitch McCarron, but he moves his feet, he gets there and gets active with his hands, and even then on the offensive glass, just put his head down and said, someone's going to have to butt me or else I'm getting this rebound.
All with it, top of the key, shot clock at 8, got beyond Hammers, confronted by Johnson. Just bit off more than he could chew on that occasion. Adelaide will get possession, but Isaac Humphries just came out of this play. As you can see, just a little second hand. He took way toward the bench. They'll leave him out there and try and shake it off at the moment as Hannes brings Adelaide up the floor. Pass McCall, confronted by Zimmerman. Johnson. Withers. They hit a field goal in the game. They go back to Daniel Johnson. They collapsed on him. A foot violation is called on the Taipans. But again, it's just that type of work with the defensive end from Cairns. All four just collapsed on Johnson. He was going nowhere.
Yeah, they're locked in defensively, ready to help each other, and all kinds of pressure on the ball.
Carrot down low with the ball. Johnson, good look at the three ball. Off the mark. Like 1 of 10 from deep. Just can't get anything happening at the moment, and largely because the Taipans won't let them. Nice pass, well from close range, and they're dancing all over the 36ers at the moment. A 23-point lead. A game high. 3 minutes played here in the third. Portnoy with it. Well, Zimmerman against Daniel Johnson. Muscling his way in a little place, and the hook shot completed. Daniel Johnson the rebound. Ball carrying duties as well. Wants to go coast to coast. Muscles his way in from close range. Can't complete it. McCall, look away pass. Adelaide again slow on getting back a defensive transition. Johnson from close range adds another 2.
Well, a little bit better effort though. Cass, let's go with there to get a hand on that kick ahead from Tajir McCall, and results in a bucket down the other end.
Portnoy with it. Pass with it. Confronted by Isaac Humphries. Needs help. Zimmerman down low.
Let's go.
Some of the praises of ball qual at the defensive end. Look at this read. He's in this corner on the right-hand side of his screen, and as he comes to set the flare screen, just feels the defense overplaying on the perimeter, back cut, bucket. His energy has been great for the Taipans tonight.
On the flip side, Adelaide 36ers, everybody was standing up. No one was in a stance. Everyone was just walking around saying, oh, you guys are just going to go around the perimeter. No one's going to attack. So Paul Cole said, I've gone 100 miles out since the start. I'm going to continue doing it here. It's an easy one.
Giving McCarron plenty to think about at the moment. Just overdoing it. You can see that Mitch McCarron's frustrated by this. Paul Cole picks up his second personal. First team foul on Cairns here in the third term.
A well-earned rest for Paul Qual. He comes out, and Taipans fans appreciate his efforts. Jared Kenny takes up that matchup with Mitch McCarron.
To go with 4 minutes played in the third. McCarron's floater on the front of the rim. The answers on Kane. Here's Kenny. He's left alone. No one came toward him, and eventually Sotto slow to react and has fouled him, and we're off to the free throw line.
Again, issues for Adelaide in defensive transition. At that time, it wasn't a problem about getting back, but it was the communication on matching up. And McCall just switches the play with the cross-court pass, and Kenny strolls in to an open 3-ball.
Here's CJ Bruton in the background saying, right, talking about all the jerseys out there, sprint back, but then someone declare the ball. Someone's got to go to the ball. It's kind of, at this rate, he's thinking, pick your poison. They didn't run back in the first half, got exposed for layups. Now they finally do get back, and no one stops the ball. And Jared Kenny walks in to a 3 and gets fouled.
First trip to the free throw line this season for Jared Kenny. He made the most of it. The margin is out to 24, the biggest we've seen at any stage. And just not enough being done by Adelaide at the moment to suggest that they're going to rule this in. Dusty Hannahs for the ball carrying duties for Adelaide. These Karen, penetration, good whistle provided here. Oh no. It's all up from close. Sotto rushing in.
Sotto doing the right thing there, running over to help out McCarron. Slips on the wet spot. It looks like he's okay. see the trail of moisture that McCarran leaves behind, and Sotto loses his footing underneath.
He's be okay, the 19-year-old Philippines. They had to restart. Karen and Hannah's started out there at the moment. Harris, the pass was telegraphed. McCall dancing on the sideline, drills it in, goes to Deng. Steps inside Hiram Harris and builds off a triple. Oh, this is pretty to watch from the Taipans.
Oh, it is. And who's out? Who else would it start with? Jim McCall. There's an offensive foul on Cam Bairstow. Who else is going to get the call? Jim McCall is everywhere. It's in the lane. He's got 8 assists, gets that steal, finds Majuk Deng trailing, and on the other end, gets excited about it, but just turns back around, does his job defensively. Here's the play where he finds Majuk Deng. Harris goes flying past, knocks that down, feels good about it for about a split second, and then turns back around on the defensive end, gets all up and in, makes Cam Bairstow have to try and do a bit more to get someone open. Offensive foul.
He's a gun to Jim McCall. What a great pickup, what a great addition to our league. And Mitch Creek commented on social media during the week saying, I got a front row look at it when he was a teammate of McCall's at Long Island Nets in the G League a couple of seasons ago under Will Weaver. Having a big impact for the Taipans.
Takes on Hiram Harris here. Pass. Withers came up with a loose ball. Now back to Harris. McCarran inside the last 5 minutes of the third quarter. They've just taken Adelaide out of their stuff. I'm not sure they actually bought any.
There is again for Jim McCall. The timing to get around, not foul, poke the ball out from Mitch McCarran. I don't know words to describe him, especially after watching the heroic effort last week when Charter went down and did everything to get them across the line. And the game wasn't pretty. He probably deserved that one to go down.
Here's McCarran exploring. McCall bounced off Bairstow. Harris, he travelled. Adelaide turned it over for the 15th time in the game. This has been par for the course for Adelaide, though. The high turnover count. Jamie Bellman, the assistant, and CJ Group. Well, this is proving a difficult assignment for them. Let's not forget that McCall arrived here as a defensive specialist as well. Defensive player of the year in the G League where he won the title on Lakeside Magic. And being asked to step in at the offensive end with Scotty Machado out injured. And he said, yeah, I got that too. 13 points, 8 assists, 5 steals.
I'd say it has the respect of his peers to Jim McCall. I chatted with Top Withers, Adelaide import, ahead of the start of the season. And he said one of his aims for this year was to be defensive player of the year, best defensive player in the NBL. Kenny gets into the lane, kicks it out, then can't hit. And he said the cool thing for me is I'm going to have to beat one of my idols into Jim McCall to win the award.
Off the mark, Sotto and Zimmerman hit the net.
He said, I've watched him do his thing for a number of years at the G League level, and he said, I try to play defense like Jim McCall does. Now we're in the same league together, and I know if I can get myself up into that conversation, I've done well, because McCall's also in this league. So that's high praise from an opponent as Sotto gets tangled up once again down low.
Foul Zuma there, just pulling him down. It didn't have to do it. Both that position. Just Sotto's arm and he'll sit down now.
McCarran gets it down the low block. Trying to find a way beyond. Of course, those infected with ball. Came to Withers. He's got to turn around with a shot clock about to expire. Jumbo reels it in. 6 points for Adelaide in this quarter. Trying to chase down to 21 points from deficit. It's just getting uglier for them.
Well, it is. They just pile it up. The Cairns Taipans, whatever they want. Look how easy easy they get into that offensive set. There's smiles all around. Why wouldn't there be? Because they've got 69 points with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And 69 is their highest score so far for this season for a game. So whatever they want on the offensive end, just look how easy this is. No one's really pressuring. You're not going to pressure Nate Charlie out there, but no one's fighting through anything. Majuk Deng has not missed a three. He's 3 of 3. He's only going to close out a bit more. Let's see what CJ has to say.
So that you've got the basket. The guy who's got the ball, again, you're in open stairs, like we said, and you're trying to read that puck, right? Get your foot kicked, do whatever. Off the ball. If there's a down screen, right? You chase over it, and then you get to the elbow. Get over it, bust through. If your man sent a down screen, be an open stance for now. Right? Before I said push off. Offensively, we got back four coming out of this here. Dribble handoff, high guy cuts, hand it off, pitch it on, come back and send a back pick for the big. He goes to the block. The guy who sends a back pick, if you don't throw it in, he's coming to get the ball back for the twist. Stay at the rim. Here we go.
Well, there's no shortage of talent on the Adelaide 36ers roster. It's coming together that's really the problem for them.
No doubt about it. CJ Bergman there talking at length about what they need to do on the defensive end. Talking about addressing that last play, the down screen that freed up Majuk Deng, saying all these down screens fired over the top. Top Ritters slipped underneath, and Majuk Deng catch and shoot, knocks it down from 3.
Humphries against Nate Charwhite. Nothing on offer. A whistle from Mark Mill. 4th team foul on the Taipans in this quarter. Again, just no fluency for Adelaide's offense. In fact, they're struggling to get the ball in.
Great job from the Taipans. Book ball. Ready to switch out and deny on the wing off the inbounds passer. Kenny goes to the ball and they force the 5-second violation.
It's been a dominant display inside the last 3 minutes of the third quarter of the Taipans, just mauling the Adelaide 36ers at the moment. Team against his old team has knocked down 5 threes without a miss. And just inside the line.
20 points.
20 points.
Averaging 5 for the season. Barely getting a shot up. And Isaac Humphries misses one that he'd normally make 9 times out of 10.
This is starting to become embarrassing for the Adelaide 36ers. Shot clock to 5. They lob it down to Charwhite. The extra pass. Inda. Yes!
It's a basketball party at the Cairns Convention Centre. Everybody getting a piece of the action.
20-6 in this quarter alone. Dibblemire exploring range of Big Nate. Brings 2 off the blast, open his scoring account.
Saying hello to his former teammate. Let's have Dibblemire, but it's hard work. You've got to rely on Dibblemire going into Nick Jarway just to get a score.
Shot clock to single digits. Taipans alive. Pinder getting it over the back of Withers is going to be called for the foul. So free throws to come for Adelaide here as we walk to the other end of the floor.
It hasn't just been Taipans starting really strongly, having periods of fading out. Anyone who's come on the floor has just continued to lift and match the intensity. Plus minus is always a tricky thing to look into. And I mentioned that last night with Victor, and his was minus 26 in his game in the double overtime when he had 29 points. But all 11 players from the Sixers are in the minus, so no one has even come on and tried to tick it over. And all guys who have stood on the floor for the Taipans are in the plus in double figures. That's just literally, as soon as one guy's subbing in, they're having impact, they're matching it, they're continuing to build on this lead. No one's had an impact at all. Adelaide 36.
All the fans need now are hamburgers. Just to put the icing on the cake. There you go.
Asking you shall receive, Case.
Time out is the code word. Enjoy Queensland. courtesy of a brilliant display from the Taipans and less than optimal effort from Adelaide. Here's Dang. Yes! Oh!
He's feeling it. Majid Ding just catching and letting it fly. He is really feeling it.
There's two from wire baseline, coming up with two more. This has been some sort of performance from the Taipans. Their highest score last season was 103 in a game they lost. Why not? Let's look ahead. Off the mark.
That's his first miss from long range. 5 of 6 now.
13 points in this quarter alone. He's outscored Adelaide by himself. Murray was out at just 10. Johnson comes up empty. Shot clock in there. 10 seconds inside the game clock as we head toward three-quarter time. Full qual, top of the key. Working on Matty Malou. Confronted by Isaac Humphries. Kicks outside Kenny. He's deep. Isaac Humphries grabs the loose ball. Duffelmeyer penetrating, went down, clutching his left ankle. This doesn't look good. Well, the former Cairns player hurt on the last play. Let's hope he can get back to his feet. But at the moment, not only is he struggling, but the 36ers, well, they are on their knees at the moment. And the Cairns Taipans, well, they have run away with the game here. They led it by 34 points at three-quarter time. 77-43 is an unlikely equation, but in far north Queensland, the Cairns Taipans are having a party. Delivered free burgers for Queensland as well. Taipans with a possession arrow. This has been ugly for Adelaide.
They just haven't let up, have they? The Taipans 23-10 in that third quarter as they extend their lead.
There's an offensive foul to start. Good thing. Trying to do a little rub screen. Trying to get the big man to get downhill. It just wasn't a set. That was an offensive linesman in the NFL. Just 2 hands on, just moving him out the way. Trying to get Zimmerman downhill, which I'm not sure we'll say too often. Get Zimmerman downhill. There we go. Start with a stop. Look at how they just try and build on. Just try and show something in this game.
Withers, carry, penetration, sotto in traffic. Draws a foul off to the free throw line. Good sign, takes up the foul.
So, that's good strong tape from Sotto. As soon as he had it in the paint, just braced himself and went up strong. And maybe that's a bit positive they can get out of this fourth quarter. If Sotto gets a whole bunch of run and gets himself comfortable on the NBL hardwood. This Taipans coach Adam Ford looks like he's throwing the coaches challenge into the mix.
Well, this will be an interesting one because Jim McCall turned around and Coach Adam Ford and said, challenge that, I wasn't near it. But then they called the foul on Steve Zimmerman. So I think Zimmerman must have turned around and said, hang on, I wasn't near it either. Now, the key thing is, if someone else is fouled, not Zimmerman, you're not changing the foul to who it was. So they're just strictly looking at Steve Zimmerman, and I'm not even sure he had much to do with this, because Mitch McCarron pushed him out the way. Oh, yes, he does. I think that right arm of Steve Zimmerman.
Bottom right hand, that one there was the closing on. Zimmerman there with the right hand. Yeah, it just gets him on the left arm. It's a foul.
Not sure what happened there. Whether he said something to Adam Ford. I will say, I will give Adam Ford credit. There's the foul right there, so this is going to stay. Yep. Freeze frame that one. Adam Ford had a successful challenge in the jungle.
Coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The foul on 33 stands. It will be 2 shots wide left.
Look at that. There's the answer there, and we saw it. It's unsuccessful. Adam Ford, he won one in the jungle. And last weekend on this floor produced one of the worst coaching challenges you'll ever see. Wasn't sure if it was a foul on Keanu Pimna or a goaltend, and they said, which one do you want to challenge? He said all the above. Then he would have lost all the above.
In that replay, the defensive work of Toshia McCall, who was extended and met Sotto at his highest point, and without body contact nor without fouling. Just exquisite. You see why he's so highly rated as a defender.
When you combine his athleticism, his length, so physical gifts, with just his endeavour and his IQ, and you come up with a real impact guy at the defensive end of the floor. Chipping here from the stat man, Mark Sloker. Biggest Cairns win over Adelaide in their 77 meetings is just 24 points. Well, I'm surely going to give that a shake tonight.
He's Pender dunking all over his former teammates and saying you're missing it.
Oh, credit to Chuck Dan, putting the ball on the floor. He made the play happen, and he is really enjoying himself out there, not just filling it up scoring-wise. Thanks for assist to go, and of course, you hype someone up and he does something silly down the other end. And just bounce by Sotto is going to go to the line. Try not to take it down. Runs are missing those last two.
I don't want to inflict any more pain on Adelaide sporting fans, but I recall an AFL game where the Crows coach Malcolm Blight left the coach's box, walked around the ground to go into the change room because he did not want to see any more. Now, if CJ Britton were to do that right here, I'd understand why. I would understand it if he got up and walked away from this, because this has been terrible.
Well, that Earth case is a Crows fan. I thought you were going back to the 2017 Grand Final and just wasn't bad enough. There you go, Quite Sotto on the board. First points in the NBL from the free throw line.
Minute played in the final quarter. Cairns looking to come up with a bit of win against Adelaide, and Sotto at the defensive end. Well, that's a man-sized block. Cheers with Daniel Johnson, who did it early for Adelaide. Had 8 points at half-time, only 2 since. Get it outside. Matty Malou knocks down the shot.
Well, starting the defensive end, Quite Sotto, he's timed his blocks really well tonight. I think that's one thing they can take a positive out of. They capitalise three down the other end.
Zimmerman, confronted by Sotto, doesn't.
Fear of feeling antok pag may sipon? Menuzet non-drowsy para sa'yo.
Muscles his way up and adds another 2. He's got 15 on 7 of 9 shooting. Two minutes played in the final quarter. McCarron at the front of the rim. Hasn't scored since quarter time, Mitch McCarron. The goal. Ends with it. One way, back the other. Beats Keanu Pidler, who is happy. And 9 out. 15 for Pender.
They are loving life in the tropics right now. This has to feel good for Keanu Pidler. Anytime you get it done against your former team, Johnson, not like he should have got the ball there. First matchup with his old team, and he's having himself a night.
Call dishing Zimmerman. Hands back. It's time off the mark. Court noise. Johnson. Caught it in rhythm. Let fly with it. Off the front of the rim.
Normally in these situations, people will be saying, well, maybe it's time to start running a bit of your bench and your development players, but Cairns don't have enough people ready to go. They have got Mirko Jeric and Jordan Knight suited up, but they're both injured, so they're not going to play. So they can really run this score up.
Skip pass. Zimmerman. Big man for 3.
Well, don't look now. But CJ Bruton is bringing a 5-on, 5-off. He's got 5 guys at the bench ready to come into this game.
38-point margin. Johnson bounces in for the definitive blocking call on Tajir McCall. So that's his 3rd personal, remembering that he had 2 in the opening quarter.
Well, here it comes. All 5 guys who are on the floor for Adelaide checking out. 5 guys off the bench replacing them. Bit of surprised, to be honest. By Sotto, chance to play some extended minutes here in the 4th quarter. And I like Cam Bester, experienced veteran, Coming out here, the late fourth quarter minutes, CJ Brooke just tries to find some ways to deliver some messages to his team.
Up the Addis, picks up the dribble. Bairstow. Looks inside, Isaac Humphries puts it to Harvey King is rejected. What noise shutting down. Adelaide shoots 2 field goals here in the final quarter. And at the other end, Port White having his way with them.
I'll tell you what, besides the Cairns Taipans, Germany really enjoyed their Saturday, the Sydney Kings, because all of a sudden they get a big win and they're looking back and Adelaide might take the headlines. People might forget what happened to the other night against Melbourne United.
Oh, we wrote down the 47 points that Sydney scored and the margin, the 42, the double number, and I thought, well, they won't get beaten this season. And it's in danger already here. It's Zimmerman again from deep. Shot clock expiring in the background. They lead by 40. Bairstow. Now Isaac Humphries against Zimmerman. Points to the baseline. Also retreat. There's Harvey King involved. Isaac Humphries, the offensive rebound and the putback. It wasn't pretty, but I'll take anything they can get at the moment. 12 points in the game now for Isaac Humphries. Daniel Johnson is their high scorer. 23 points. The good man leads all scorers. Loose ball scramble. Kenny's got it. Shot clock rolls to 7. Then low. Yanu Pinder. Mismatch holds his chances against Mojave King. Zimmerman in the corner. Shot clock expiring.
CJ Brooke trying to lead just some sort of energy out there. He was just non-stop talking throughout that whole possession. Give up an offensive rebound. He just said they've got to get another stop, just screaming at every opportunity.
So Myron Harris brings Adelaide forward. He stood off him, so from 3-point territory, he fires unsuccessfully. This is going to do wonders for the Cairns Taipans' confidence. Scott Machado. They've been on some right from the start. Isaac Humphries shut down. Big Nate there was called for the foul.
I'll have a bit of a look at that as a potential unsportsmanlike foul for the officials.
Go, Humphries, 2.
Taipans over the limit.
Not even thinking about it as a potential upgrade, just calling it as an unsportsmanlike, wise, trying to stop the break. Is it no, sorry, they're in the bonus. Wow. Normally no play for ball. You've had a rough one. I've had a rough one on the unsportsmanlike. How is that not unsportsmanlike? Look at it.
Isaac Humphries. First trip to the free throw line this season. Can you believe that in game number 5?
Things are getting worse for the Sixers. They're 5 of 13 from the free throw line. That's a lot of easy points there. And they're 2 of 15 from 3. Plays like that. They're going to go the ball. Still 4 minutes to go in this one. His Taipans fans are loving it.
So they should. This has been impressive. Taipans are being sharp. Shot clock to 3. Dead. Caught it deep. Harbour King with the rebound. Sprint back up the floor. And it's rejected as well. Thrown out of there. Nice work from Deng.
Here we go. And a 4 emptying the bench now. Check out this block from the team. Good hands tonight. Steals, a few blocks. They're probably keen for champions of the game. Played NBL 1 last year. The Diamond Valley getting an opportunity and comes in, takes a charge, and that's a can of coke from the coach. If you're taking all this on through the chest, that's good. Nice little welcome to the NBL. Put your body on the line.
He's searching for the Adelaide 36 as well as down the score here at the moment. This is looking very grim for them. Hasn't seen anything like this in the last 5 years. 3 minutes to go. Taipans. Qual goes to work. Couldn't finish it, and Isaac Humphries the rebound. Dusty Hannahs takes them on. Backs two, gets it done. Chance of a three-point play in jump time.
As we said, it's going to be hard to take any positives out of this game for the Sixers. Isaac Humphries, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 offensive. So he's slowly starting to find his feet in the NBL 22. And Adam Ford calling a timeout. He doesn't want this to flatten out in the last 3 minutes.
Timeout call. Cairns well on top. We'll be back shortly.
They work so hard for this big lead. The Taipans want to reward themselves. Reward their fans first and foremost, but also themselves on the ladder, the percentage. They try to build on this win. This is going to be 2 in a row. Trying to re-establish this Cairns Convention Centre as a fortress, a really tough place for opposition teams to win. Just how they've had it over a long period of time, a couple of years recently where that's gone awry, but to finish it off strong. You're out by 40 odd for a period of time there. You want to try to make sure you come away with a margin that represents how much you've dominated this ball game from start to finish.
Well, it has been a domination and something of a capitulation from Adelaide, although they really never got going. Little Trove Financial, sharp shot, get involved with that. I think you can hit a shot from full court at an NBL game. There's $100K on the line. That would take some doing, but no problems, because if you miss your first shot, you can get a second from half court for $50K. Not a lot of people have backed themselves from that sort of range. Just go to the NBL website win page to win for your chance to shoot for $100K. Taipans, shot clock working down. Well done, Withers. The nicely pass. Scoring Dusty Hannahs. Floater from Hannahs, saw the bottom of the net. It's up to 16 on 6 of 9 shooting, Dusty Hannahs. And 7 of those in the opening quarter. Jawa. Isaac Humphries muscling his way in, down to the baseline. No room there, coughed it up. Hiram Harris gets Mojave King involved. Shares it with Todd Withers in the corner, and he knocks down the three.
Good ball movement from the 36ers. Good push from King. They find Harris, and then Withers spaces out to the corner. Knocks it down, and just some nice little signs here these last couple of minutes from Adelaide, bringing the energy that CJ Britton's been after. Plays like that, straight line drives have been an issue, but they stop it at the rim.
On the flip side, see Adam Ford. She'll upset him. They played way too well. They put the foot down, they got out with this 40-plus point lead. Just taking the foot off the gas in the last few minutes here. That's why he called the timeout and didn't want this to happen, because they didn't deserve it. So you've got to do a little bit of the smallest possible crowd to the Sixers for showing his last minute and a half. If they've given this the whole game, we'll be talking about something completely different.
They scored the last 12 points, and the shot clock's about to expire on the Jip Ding. So there's a chance for them to add to that tally. Really wallpapering over the cracks here.
Managed to avoid that loss. Ever franchise score case. Work from Mark Slocum. Adelaide's lowest score was 57. Still is 57 as Hannahs slices to the cup. This is Brisbane back in 1983. So they've topped that mark. And they've cut this margin back a little bit. Just to make the final product look a little bit better than it was.
The big question is where did this last 2 minutes been? Because Arthur King was just picking up full court, turning Jared Kenny and Adam Ford was just, look, frustrated on the sideline that play before. Look at the score and he saw that Paul's body language. You'd think they were losing. He's really frustrated with his last couple of minutes.
Mohamed King had played 3.5 minutes in this game. Tried to check it in a couple of minutes ago. Really haven't seen much action as the Taipans have completely grabbed control of the game over the course of the night.
It's an interesting one because when you're looking for someone to bring some energy, surely that's when you talk to Mohamed King saying, look, this is a big opportunity. I need you to show something for us.
He did come into the game under an injury cloud. Struggled with a groin injury last week. Went off early, didn't play in the second half. I spoke to the physio, Nick Richardson, at training during the week, and he said he was good to go, but clearly not as good as they would have liked, and that's perhaps the reason he hasn't played as much as Kenny adds another two.
Good execution from the Taipans. Mohamed King gets caught up on the back screen. Find the open man on the back side.
All the stats tonight that are great for the Taipans. Highlighted at halftime. 28 assists on 36 made field goals. That is just a team that you're down a couple of players, everybody is just playing for each other. You're in the locker room pre-game saying, it's just us. This is all we've got. We've got to go out there and play together, have some fun with it. And they've done that. Hit the ball, everybody's got involved. Look at John Dan's got 23, McCall 13 points, and he was outstanding with only 13 points. Kim with 15, Zilla with 18, and everyone else just chiming in.
I think it also just goes to show how easy they had it offensively for most of the night. Really were able to just pitch it around, find guys, attack that top line of the defense, get into the paint, draw the help, drop it off. The guys in the middle of the lane again. The biggest issue for Adelaide overall was their defensive transition in that first quarter when the game got out of hand, just not getting back on D, and the Taipans cashing in.
Kenny, Joe White takes on Isaac Humphries and draws contact. Nate's on to the free throw line for the first time in the game. And when Melbourne laid an egg, Sydney laid an egg 48 hours ago, they had a chance to redeem themselves. Well, Adelaide are going to stew on this one. They don't play again until the 28th, Tuesday week, and they're hosting Perth. Then they host the Phoenix. Then they host Perth.
Really tough schedule coming up. But the plus side is they've got some things to work on.
But they've had things to work on since opening night.
Correct, but they've had a really hectic schedule throughout that period of time. They need to spend some time in the gym, get their defensive transition rules down pat, so they can come out and put a better show on the floor when they step out on the 25th.
Marshall onto the floor, Pete Weathers can't connect. Chance now for Withers to get another look. And Tommy does knock it down. 2 of 8 from the field now, Todd Withers, 8 points, 2 rebounds. 29 minutes has been a lead night for him, but he's had lots of friends on the Adelaide bench as well. Fans climb to their feet in Cairns. It's been a win for the ages for the Taipans. They're going to prevail here by 26 points. They've stormed all over Adelaide, and the fans celebrate.